So over here I have the ATAC 64 kit, 64GB kit. It's a 2x32 gigabyte. It's a DDR3 1866 megahertz. It's ranked at 4Rx4. That means that you could use that. You could use a quad channel on the few motherboards. It's a LRDIMM kind of format for it, and yeah, I bought these for my storage server. I bought two pairs actually, so another one's supposed to be here. Should be here pretty soon. So I will have a total of 128 gigabytes. It's insane. I didn't need it, but it was some really good price for it. So I really want to test this RAM on my machine right here, on my this motherboard that you already came to be familiar with. This is the GNU something like that, X99 D3 titanium. Yeah, I tried it with a different ECC memory. It ran like maybe it was the problem was with that certain memory that I ran on it. I think it was probably 800 megahertz, because that's the way it ran, but this is why I got this RAM, to try a different ECC memory, and this was on a great price. So this one is rated for 1866 megahertz, 1866 megahertz. So let's see if that's what's gonna show us. So yeah, I'll pick it back up once we're ready to boot. Okay, so taking a closer look at the memory, I don't know if you can read this, but it says SK Hynix on it, and I recognize it to be SK Hynix right away because of the board on the memory. It's usually blue. That's usually means that it's SK Hynix, but it could be some other companies, but I know it to be SK Hynix from that. So and it says on the heatsink itself. So yeah, what ATAC does is they just rebranding the RAM basically. I think on this machine right here, on my workstation that I have right here, I have the same rebranding company, and I think what I received over there is Samsung, if I'm not mistaken. So it could be random, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so right now I'm just going to install it, as I mentioned, and yeah, I want to see that it runs at the rated speed, and yeah, I'll pick it back up once I install it in the machine. Okay, so I installed the memory, as you can see, onto the motherboard right here. I don't know if you can see the other one. It's over there, it doesn't matter. And right now I'm ready to boot the system. So if we see 64 gigabyte running at 1866 megahertz, that means that it runs well. But let's see. Alright, it's booting up and spinning. Let it boot straight to the OS, where I got CPU-Z and some other softwares. Yeah, this task manager should show us the true speed right off the bat. Okay, that was a weird beeping sound, not normally what we have, but I just hope it's just the motherboard and we have a successful boot. Yeah, hold on, let me put the password real quick. Yeah, CPU port table. Whoa, no. Yeah, kinda missed the button. Okay, close it. Let's see if I can run Task Manager. Yes. Performance. Memory. Alright, so it reads 64 gigabyte, running at 1600 hertz. Okay. So it doesn't run at. Maybe it's something with the BIOS. I'll check it out in a bit. Yeah, it's running at 1600. Yeah, that's right. 790. I think it's something to do with the BIOS. Maybe I'll check it out in a bit. But yeah, so far so good. The SPD shows like it runs at that speed. Yeah, it's cool. Anyway, let me just check it out. I'll try to tweak something in the BIOS and we'll check it out. Be right back. So here I have the other set arrived for the ATAC 2x32GB 64 kit. So right now I have 128 GB in total. Four sticks of 32 GB, which totals in 128, and I don't know if you can see that. It actually says 128 over there, but I also managed to get it run at 1866 MHz, the way that they're rated at, because these are rated at 8066. At first I had a few problems with this board, clocking it at 1866. It only defaulted into 1600 MHz. I mean, on its own I wouldn't have a problem with it, because 1600 MHz would be way more than enough than I need for this build anyway, but I felt like yeah, it's a waste. I bought this thing for the 1866 MHz, so might as well take advantage of that. And I tweaked around in the BIOS of this motherboard, and there is like a few settings over there. There is a POF something voltage, something like that. So all you have to do is click disable on this thing, and yeah, once you hit disable, this thing will read at whatever speed you set it into. So even if you want to set XMP or whatever, you could do that. Definitely do that. Do whatever you want with it. So yeah, this worked pretty well. So right now I'm going to have 128 GB on the storage server thingy that I'm gonna have. This is an insane amount, way more than I intended for it to have, because if you remember, I tried to run these 2x16 GB sticks that I had, low profile ones, but they ran at 800 MHz. I think the seller was mistaken, sent me the wrong one. So yeah, it doesn't matter. I had to opt for these memory sticks, the ATAC memory sticks. So yeah, that's fine. I mean, it worked out anyway. So it worked out for the better, because right now I have 128 GB, which is an uber overkill for this. Like, this is an insane amount of RAM just for that. I mean, it's fine. I mean, I'll just use it like that. And yeah, I mean, this has pretty much been the video about the ATAC. Well, right now I should say 4x32 GB, clocked at 1866 MHz. These are pretty well quality of RAM. I already had this RAM on my workstation build over here. I have eight sticks of 32 clocked by 1333. I mean, I know these are not much, but they're way more than enough for me. I don't know if you can see them over there. So I already had experience with an ATAC product. Basically, it's just like they take whatever RAM they have, like SK Hynix, whatever chips they have lying around, SK Hynix, Samsung, whatever they have, maybe even Kingston, I don't know. And they just rebranded, they put their own label on it, as you can see, ATAC over there. And that's all there is to it. They put their own heatsink, they put their own, maybe not even their own heatsink, maybe it's whatever also, and they just put their label on it. I mean, it's okay, it works well, I don't care. It was an amazing price too. I only bought these for $30 each, so $60 in total for a whopping 128 GB, which is crazy. I know it's DDR3, but who cares, man? I just needed the capacity, and my board runs DDR3, so who gives a shit? I mean, it's working well, and I'm gonna have all this raw capacity of memory to deal with. I could do whatever I want with it, run as many VMs as I want, and Dockers, and even if I want to use RAM disk, I could opt for some RAM disk from this RAM, use half of the memory if I want to. So whatever, we can do whatever we want with it. It's an insane amount for what I'm going to be using it for. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more videos related to this build that I'm going to have, this is all going to be part of my renewed storage server. I'm waiting for a new case that I bought for it. Like, I have this one, this is a 24 bay, and I got like a new one coming up, 36 bays. So it's gonna be a newer case. So if you want to stay tuned for that, make sure you subscribe and follow this channel, so you won't miss on this content, because it's gonna be a shit show. Let's just say that. So yeah, I'm excited for it. Yeah, if you want to stay tuned for that, yeah, make sure you subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.